And I think we are live, and we are only 15 minutes late. But I had to restart my machine because it was not wanting to cooperate. So, for those of you expecting me to be punctual, let's face facts, that'll never happen. I've been late for everything, and I hope fully to be late to my own funeral. So, welcome to this evening's episode of the Not Dave Grohl Show, where I am not Dave Grohl, and well, you guys have been around here long enough to know what the rest of that story is. But I am still waiting for that trademark suit in the mail because I am using this title purely as a publicity stunt. Tonight's going to be a little bit different. I don't think I'm going to get into any mixing or anything. I'm going to kind of do some talking for a little bit and then maybe play some guitar depending on how I am feeling tonight. Because I actually got into some pretty cool stuff over the weekend, including going to a guitar show out in the Orlando Fairgrounds where I walked around and I looked at probably thousands of guitars and a whole bunch of really cool pedals and got a sweet new profile picture out of it. So, and I've also got a video that is of the event somewhat that is trending on Instagram right now because for some reason, because I waved my camera around in front of a bunch of guitars, people apparently really like that. So, I mean, we can do that. But some really the next cool thing that happened, the song that I put together on Friday night stream. Whenever I finish something, whether I particularly enjoy it or not, and in this case, I wasn't really that into it. I just kind of wanted to create something because it had been a while since I had done something like that, and I had not done it on camera yet. So, I did it, and I wasn't terribly enthusiastic about it, but I mean, it's okay. Decent mid-tier rock song. And usually when I finish something, I will do some kind of light mixing on it, and then I will send it to usually about the same 10 or 12 people. And one of those people is my buddy Derek up in Virginia, whom he's basically my husband at this point in time. I've been friends with this guy for like 14 years. And we've been through all sorts of life together, written all sorts of music together. As a matter of fact, he was the other guitar player in my previous band, Radical Dreamer. And he decided that he was going to send it to a friend of ours out on the West Coast, whose name is Ryan Crosby, who he is an awesome guy, excellent musician, excellent producer, and has given me notes out of the kindness of his heart on some of my mixes, to which I apply quite a few of the things that he's taught me in my own mixes to this day, such as putting my effects on a send and then sending things out to that track rather than directly applying effects to individual instruments and stuff like that. But he decided that he was going to send that over to Ryan Crosby because apparently they were having some kind of conversation in the background where Ryan was looking for something new to work on. And apparently Ryan really liked it. So Saturday morning, I got told to send the stem files for that project over to him. And he is working on putting his personal touches on this, to which I don't know what he's going to do yet. He has not discussed it with me. I don't even know if he knows what he's going to do yet. But either way, it is a great honor because I very, very, very much respect that man's talent. So the other cool thing, and this is going to lead me into the rant of rants. Let me pull this up really quick and I will show you guys. My other guitar player friend up in Virginia, Rob Montgomery, whom you guys know, I contributed the tracks or the vocal tracks to the State by Zero cover that we've been working on camera. Sent me this earlier today, and the backstory behind this is I called a friend earlier today, and because I needed to complain about some things, because, well, sometimes I need to do that. So to which case, thank you for listening to me complain. But part of those complaints was kind of, I don't really know what to do next. And, a few hours later, this came through, and this is from Derek Sherinian, who, any of you musicians out there who are familiar with Dream Theater or Alice Cooper, I believe he has performed as a keyboardist in Kiss at one point in time, I was told. Either way, he's one of the best in the business, and apparently he is looking for new bands and solo artists to produce. So, complain to the universe, and the universe is going to answer the call. And that being said, if the universe is going to use my friend Mr. Montgomery here to send me this message, then I am going to follow up on that, because I do not, under any real reason, see a reason to deny the universe if the universe is telling me I need to do something. So, take a shot, guys. Every time I say so, because I do that a lot in conversation. Something I probably need to work on, because it kind of makes me sound a little snarky, even though I'm not trying to be. But I'm not going to address that problem tonight. So, see, there it was again. That being said, I'm going to follow up on this, and I'm going to be sending this man an MP3 of one of the projects that the band previously known as Vertebreaker, and I only use that because we don't have a new name for the band, and it's a nice little reference to Prince. Going to take, and I'm going to mix down one of those projects, and I am going to send this off to this man and see what happens. I think it's a pretty strong track. And as a matter of fact, I am taking the rest of the week off from all of my obligations to give myself a Friday evening deadline to send this off to him, because I don't want to sit on this for too long, because, well, once again, the universe told me to do something, so I'm going to do it. That's the way I'm choosing to look at it anyways. Don't tell me otherwise. That being said, you guys are going to get a special treat. You are going to get to see this wonderful, gorgeous face tomorrow and Thursday and Friday evenings for extended periods of time while I work through mixing a track. That we finished a little while back, and I've kind of been sitting on, because let's face facts, ADHD, and I procrastinate on everything. So that's something I definitely need to get better at, especially as I'm starting to produce more and more audiences. I can't talk tonight. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Oh, shit. I did not somehow. What did I do wrong here? Because Facebook didn't go live, so I'm going to have to do this rant all over again. Why is it that nothing ever works right the first time? Well, maybe I'm going to end up having to Discard and exit. Wait a minute. What does my phone say here? Am I live? I am live. Hey, Mark, how are you doing, man? What does my phone say here? Apparently I am live. I just don't think I'm live, and it's not letting me back into my own live broadcast, so... Hey, Mark, how are you doing, man? Apparently I am live. I just don't think I'm live, and it's not letting me back into my own live broadcast, so... Well, there you have it. Apparently I'm wrong, and I've been live the whole time. So the good news is I don't have to do that whole rant again. But I swear to God, if I ever played a drinking game with all my speaking idiosyncrasies, most of you guys would probably be dead from alcohol poisoning. Be thankful that I have not put you through that. So tonight, I don't really plan on getting into anything too heavy. As a matter of fact, I think I am probably just going to open up this project and start looking at it and seeing what needs to be done to it. And maybe I'll play some guitar for a little bit because I kind of enjoy doing that on camera. But we'll see what happens. So give me just a second so I can open up this project file really quick and we will get into it. Well, thank you, Clyde, for pointing out the fact that I forgot to add Rhea. What's the name of this plugin? Um, Rhea route here so that everybody could hear me for the last couple of minutes. One of these days, I swear to God, I'm going to get this right. It's just not going to be today. It's never going to be today. The fun and learning how to live stream. But, okay, so let's start over since apparently nobody can hear me. And I'm guessing that everybody can hear me just fine now because the little green line on OBS is moving up and down. And I get a DM right in the middle of my live stream from Jack Connor, who should join my live stream so that we can, because he's the one singing on this. But anyways, let's start over. So what, where do I even begin with this? I did it right the first time and now I have to do it again. Okay, so this track right here started out as a short that I did that I called Shoegazeitude that I posted over the summer. And the reason that I had produced so much content, most of it was just like truncated covers of songs. And I had one original, and it started out as, I think it was maybe about 1:40 seconds, but basically I was looking for stuff to cut video to, so I was just very quickly putting together this stuff, mixing, mastering it, and then, you know, building video sequences around it because I, you know, was teaching myself how to do video editing, and I only really got so at it. I need to get better at it, but there's room for improvement and everything. But I ended up expanding it into a full song, which became a Vertebraker song, or, well, the band previously known as Vertebraker. We're between names at the moment, even though we have the same exact members. But, see, there we go again. Everybody take a shot. That is going to be the track that I polish up here over the next 3 or 4 days, and I submit to Mr. Sherinian. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick listen to it. Fair warning, the drum stems are absolutely terrible because I rendered them wrong on the way out. I forgot to put the effects on them. Whoops. What are you going to do, right? So I got to go back into one of the previous versions of the projects and find the original MIDI sequences so that I can do that. But let's take a look at this really quick. You can see this track is just under 6 minutes long, and I haven't recorded the ending for it either, and the only reason that I did not record the ending was because I didn't need it to track the vocals. But this is technically the last song that we completed together, and you can see that there's vocals all over this, all provided by Jack Connor. Thank you very much. And he wrote the majority of the lyrics, and I wrote a couple of lines for this song, which is kind of a new thing for me because usually I write the lyrics for all my own stuff. But either way, he did a really good job, and he definitely gave a killer vocal performance right here in this room. And we spent, I don't know what, maybe the course of 2 days tracking all the vocals for it, I think, if I remember correctly. But other than the fact that right now this has a Lars Ulrich snare on this because, you know, I stole it out of the Metallica studio just to embarrass myself in this fantastic moment. But I'm going to give you guys a little bit of this track to give you an idea of how dry all this is right now. I mean, it really... it's a good song that needs a lot of color added to it before it's done. But let's go ahead and listen. Listen to that beer keg tone. Isn't it fantastic? Hey, Jason, what's going on, man? Long time no hear. How you been?
Stranded in the darkness with no light left to guide me home. I know it's been so long, it's so wrong that we've both been left all alone. Even if I found my way back, who's to say that things would ever be the same? 'Cause we're lost. We're lost in a hopeless place. We're so lost, lost in the mountains away from the light, where the daylight turns to night, and infinite distance between you and I, you and I. And it's a lonely path to nowhere when you don't really know who will still be there. Oh, lost in the mountains and trapped in the night. It won't take us both alive.
All right, so that should give you a brief idea. And actually, the good news is I found my MIDI sequences. Yay, I'm happy about that. They're actually right here in this project file, so I can re-render all of this stuff here on camera. Whoa, let's not do that. And actually make this sound correct. Let's unmute all of these. And we are going to completely mute out this group. All right, so good news is that the MIDI sequences are preserved and they're actually here in this project file. And they still don't sound very great, but I have an idea for that. I think I'm going to use a bigger, wider kit on this. So I'm going to move these over into a new project file, and I'm going to actually use them with the Gecko Drums Big and Loud kit, or basically I call it the shoegaze kit because this has kind of got a shoegazy tone to it. But for some of you that have listened to this, listen to the original YouTube clip, of which I think actually, Jason, that might have been one of the first things I ever played for you, man. Oh, cool, dude. I'm glad you finally made it up there. Rumor has it you're going to Rockville this year, and rumor has it I might show up for a day because a couple of the bands that are playing on the first day are someone I really see. So maybe we can get together and hang out because I really enjoyed hanging out at your place last time. Anyways, congratulations on making it up there, and that is a cool band name. Anybody who's up there on the Panhandle, be on the lookout for the Whiskey Ridge. Jason's a fantastic guitar player, absolutely fantastic guitar player. Me and Rambo went to his place, I don't know, maybe back in, I don't know, what was it, August? What was it? What was it? August? I think it might have been late July, early August, something like that. And we just kind of drove up there and hung out with him, and we improv'd a cool little metal tune using his 7-string, which he's got down in drop F sharp, which sounded amazing. So yeah, we hung out there, and we used one of Ola England's if you guys follow Ola England on YouTube, you know that I guess it's weekly. He basically sends out a drum sample and just gives everybody permission, as long as they don't alter the drum samples, to write whatever they want on it. And we came up with our own little improv, and like Rambo wrote the first riff, and I wrote the second half of it, and Jason did the solos on it, and he just totally nailed it. It sounded so good. Oh yeah, it's called the he calls it Swola. Um, that's the name of it. But for any of you guys that are just looking to write some cool stuff, check out Ola England's channel as well. If you're a metal person, you should know who he is by now. But yeah, we ended up having a lot of fun that day, and I think Rambo did the first half of the song. I did the second half of the song, and I think I did the bass on all of it. Because Jason also has a wicked bass guitar. I think I did. I can't remember. I know that I know that I did the bass takes on my part of the song. I can't remember if I did it on the first part as well. I might have done all of it. But Jason definitely just laid down some killer improv work on it. But unfortunately, he does not live close by anymore. He is up in the Panhandle, so it'll be a little bit before we get to collab again. But I hope we get to do it again, because that was a really fun night. And his girlfriend is also an awesome cook, so that was I ended up having a really good time over there. So enough rambling about that. Either way, it's awesome. It's awesome to see you in the chat, Jason. Man, it's really good to hear from you again. But getting back to this, yeah, this is the track that we're going to polish up, and we're going to send off to Derek Sherinian, and we're going to hope he wants to work with us, because Derek Sherinian is awesome. So the next, so we're going to have to kind of come up with a game plan for the next couple of days, because this song needs a lot of work. Like I said, there's not even an ending to the song yet. It just kind of like, let me see if I can find I'll play the last line.
Lost in the mountains, away from the lights, where the daylight turns to night. Infinite distance between you and I, and it's a lonely path to nowhere, when you don't really know who will still be there. Oh, lost in the mountains and trapped in the night. It will take us both alive.
And it kind of stops right there, and I've got a whole section planned for what comes afterwards, and it's basically an instrumental build-up that kind of fades out. So I'm going to have to go through and record all of that stuff, and this version of the project does not have any of the lead guitars that I did in the original demo, so I've got to re-record all that stuff too. But that's fine, because we're going to have roughly 3 straight days to work on this, and I'm going to kind of jump in on stream at 8 o'clock every night, and I'm going to be doing extended streams on this the entire time until we get the job done, and then it's going to get submitted off, and then we're going to cross our fingers and pray that we are somebody that he would like to work with, because I could personally use a trip out to LA, because Central Florida is kind of getting on my nerves at this point. I need a vacation. So it would be fun to be able to go out there, and obviously Derek Sherinian is somebody that I admired quite a bit, because I think I gave the list of bands that he's worked with over the years. One of which, you know, he was the second keyboardist in Dream Theater after Kevin Moore left the band, and he did all the keyboards on their A Change of Seasons EP, including the track itself, A Change of Seasons. He's featured on the live tracks that follow on that EP, and he is also on the following album, Following Into Infinity. And there's some really cool and very, very different sounds on that album than the other Dream Theater albums, because Derek just has such a unique style. So take care, Jason, man. It was really awesome having you in the yeah, tell your lady I said hey, and thank you for dinner that one night. But yeah, definitely thank you for joining, man. But you know, the big thing at this point, I got to remember to go public with these Facebook videos so that other people, other than just the people that are on my friends list, can actually watch these. Yeah, so he's somebody that I would be excited to have help us shape material, because this guy really knows his stuff. So I guess from here I kind of need to come up with a game plan, because like we're gonna do this, and I am gonna go ahead and you can see my camera because YouTube is there. So I am going to do this thing that I have been meaning to do for a while, and that is, I don't need display capture, I need video capture device, and add existing Elgato, and there I am, all big-headed in the wrong corner there. But I've been meaning to add it to this particular scene as well, so there I am, now I'm in it, and you can continue to look at this bright, beautiful face while I continue to ramble on into the ether. So, but we're gonna kind of take some notes on what still needs to be recorded, and can I blow this up a little bit better? I don't know if you guys can see this okay. I don't want that. Tools, macros. Is there a way to increase the font size on this? Because I like this better than regular Notepad. Oh, here we go. Zoom in. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and call this So that's kind of the process that we need to work on right there at this point. for now, because we still need to do all the overdubs for the song. None of which are terribly complicated. They just, I mean, it's kind of shoegazy and kind of laid back in nature, and it's kind of got an Alice in Chains vibe to it. So a lot of it is very bendy and very long and very wispy. So that probably won't take very long. And then record the ending of the song, which basically means that I am going to have to match guitar tones to what is already on the song, which shouldn't be too terribly hard because I've got everything already programmed in the Helix, and I just need to pull those settings up. And do the recording that way, and then I need to do the bass lines for it, and there's going to be some kind of an exit solo on this song, I think, but I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible, because I don't want anything in this song to get super shreddy. I kind of want to keep it dialed back, and I want to keep it about atmosphere and mood, because this is very much an atmosphere and mood song, and we've got new songs in the works that are more exciting and a little bit more up there, and they're a little bit more metal, because I've kind of been going back in that direction, because over the summer I was really more about big chords and very very, very wide wall of sound type spaces and all that stuff. So, and now I am not in that phase, so that won't be happening. And of course, most likely Rambo will be doing most of that stuff, because despite the fact that I like to play lead in the studio, I do not want to play any of it live. That is why I am the rhythm guitarist in the band. Go figure. But I may add some like keyboard atmosphere in there if I'm still feeling that it's not thick enough. And then we're going to kind of call it a day on the recording phase of this song, and then we are going to move on to the mixing phase, because let's face facts, even the MIDI drum sequences right now kind of sound like trash. And those need a lot of work, because I need those to be very big and very wide, and I might move those over to the big beast kit from the Nolly Get Good series of drums, which in and of itself will be probably make this sound a lot wider. And of course, I've got to remember how to route all that stuff out, because I don't think I ever built a route for that. So I'm going to put routing in there so that I remember that needs to be done. And then there's the guitar staging and the, like leveling the guitars and the bass and the vocals and getting them where they need to be set. And obviously, while Jack's performances are definitely really solid, they do need some auto-tuning. They definitely need some vocal riding to keep them level. They definitely need some compression put on them so that the high peaks and the low, and the low valleys of the vocals are closer together. And that'll complete our mixing phase. And then moving into the mastering phase. We've never done any mastering on this channel to this point. And for those of you that don't know the difference between mixing and mastering, because that is a question that I get asked a lot, because everybody just kind of considers them the same process, and they're actually not. The mixing phase is getting everything level, getting everything where everything can be heard. You're kind of adding your color and such to your tones. And basically, if you look at this right here in the bottom left hand corner, this master fader, basically when I'm done with a mix, it's kind of on the quiet side, because I like to get it right here around -6. And the reason for that is the mastering phase is all about bringing up the excitement and the saturation and the volume without getting it to 0 dB, so it doesn't get unpleasant distortion. Basically, you could delineate between saturation and distortion by saying that saturation is pleasant distortion and distortion is bad distortion. That's kind of the best explanation I could come up with there. And you want the kind of distortion that makes your mix sound that makes your song sound more exciting, but you don't want the type that makes everything clip and go all over the place. That's not the kind of distortion you want. It just ends up sounding terrible. And when you're working in the digital realm and you've you know, back in the analog days, distortion was actually a really, really good thing because analog signals distort in a pleasant way, but digital signals do not. So you have to be very, very careful with what you're doing there. And then there'll be some EQ balancing there at the very end, and then we're going to render this track and send it off and hope that Mr. Sharinian bites on our track, and hope that that means he wants to work with us, because that could lead to potentially us being signed, which would very, very much excite me because I've been working for a very long time to get to that point. And I'm sure the rest of the guys in the band would be really happy with that too. So no new comments there. Nothing in the YouTube live stream, but there usually isn't. That's why I still stream to Facebook, is because most people tend to comment there. But all of that being said, yeah, I'm gonna break it down like this. I will be streaming Wednesday and Thursday, which is unusual for me. It will start at the normal time. It will start at 8 o'clock. And I'm probably going to be doing 4-hour streams instead of 2-hour streams. And tomorrow, I think tomorrow is going to be getting the rest of the recording done. I don't care if the drums sound terrible. I know why the drums sound terrible, and it's not because of the drums themselves. It's because I took all the mixing off them and rendered the stems out, which was dumb. Don't ever do that. And then we're gonna get that knocked out tomorrow. That's gonna include recording all of the overdubs. It's gonna include the ending of the song. I might spend some time in the earlier part of the evening building those drum samples, so I don't have to do that on camera. Because let's face facts, once I've shown you how to do it once, you probably never want to see it again, and it's definitely the most boring part of the process. Because once I get my sections together, basically it's a lot of copying and pasting and then rebuilding fills, so that it sounds like somebody actually playing drums, because right now we don't have a drummer. Hint, hint, Central Florida. If you're looking for a band, I've got one for you. As a matter of fact, I've got two. We've never even gotten into any of the streetlight interference stuff, so some of that stuff is going to get remixed here on there. I've got plans to do that, and actually I've got one of the songs that I'm going to completely rebuild, because I was really happy with it at the time, and now that I go back and listen to it, I'm like, there are sections of this song that just don't make sense, and they could be a lot better. And at one point in time, I kind of rewrote the entire midsection of the song, and it'll be fun to re-record that live on camera. It'll give me something to do. But Thursday will be the mixing phase. I don't know if we're going to complete the mixing phase, because the mixing phase is definitely the longest part of the process. You can kind of have your master together in an hour or two, I want to say, but as far as the mix process, that's going to be the big thing, especially the vocal production, because we've got a lot to do to get Jack's vocals setting where they need to be setting, and that's going to include a lot of writing automation and adjusting peaks and levels, and there's going to be some light auto tune on there too, so that he's sounding good. He already sounds good, but we're going to make it sound even better, and we're going to make those sound ultra pretty. But I may actually start with the vocal production side of it and then work backwards, because I kind of want to get the stems to the point where they're processed and all that stuff, and then level everything to that. And then Friday, we're going to finish up whatever is in the mix stage of this song. I get the feeling that we're probably, guitars and bass are probably going to be last because the two big things are vocal production and drum mix. And that's probably going to be Thursday night stream. And then Friday, it's going to be guitar and bass. And then we're going to get into the mastering part, which really doesn't take that long. And then I'm going to send an email. Why could I not talk tonight? For somebody who is spending a lot of time on camera these days, I certainly have not figured out how to speak English yet. Guidance requested. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. It's going to be rebuilding this project using the bigger drum samples, which I will probably work on off camera tonight. This is actually probably going to be a short stream because I don't want to put you guys through that. Drum editing takes forever, and I would not be surprised if people fell asleep while watching that part of it because it's really just, it's not that interesting. So I think this is where I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream for the evening. I was going to play some guitar for a little bit, but I think it would be better for me to get to work on this stuff because I have a lot of work to do. As far as getting this transferred over into a new project file. So I will see everybody tomorrow night around 8 p.m. As long as my stream setup is doing what it's supposed to be doing. I should be here on time for once. Wouldn't that be nice? Maybe. Don't count on it. But to those of you that have joined in this evening, depending on what platform you are watching me from, whether it is Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, please click either that follow or subscribe button. It would be greatly appreciated. And I will see you guys tomorrow night.